Do we want to do like a Jeffree Star, like, welcome back to my channel? So yeah, I guess we should introduce ourselves. I'm Lucy Furr.
I'm Tiffany Minxx.
And we're getting ready together. Kind of doing a ripoff of Jeffree Star, Get Ready With Me.
It is what it is.
And so we're just going to beat our mugs and get to know each other a little bit.
Let's do it.
Yes. I'm going to start on my eyebrows, which you're a little ahead of me.
I have to. It takes me for fucking ever to do my eyebrows. Because I'm still terrible at
Oh, I feel like I'm really terrible at a lot of things.
it. Sometimes I wonder why I even do drag if I think I'm so bad at it.
Well, you know, because I've only done the one show. You're way ahead of me.
You know, I'm only 3 ahead if you think about it. Because before I moved to Memphis, I'd only done one show myself. Other than like cross-dressing in my living room. I've done that plenty.
What made you want to get into drag?
I'm a drag race baby. I'll be honest. I'm not ashamed of it. A friend of mine back in 2015 sent me, a link to a video on Facebook, and I opened it, and it was the first episode of season 7 of Drag Race, and I watched that, and then the next day he sent me episode 2 because it had just come on the night before, so I watched that as well, and I was like, oh my god, this might be the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. How have I not known more about drag queens? Like, why have I never experienced this? I was 20 at the time. So then I just started watching the show almost obsessively. Obsessively. It was so just mesmerizing to see so many people with an affinity for, drag and female illusion, and it kind of seemed like a way to channel all the things that I loved, like female pop music and dressing up and things like that. So it kind of just became a good hub for all that. What about you?
Kind of a lot of the same. I never had an affinity for dressing up, really. But I got introduced to Drag Race, and it was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed the show, and I was like, man, I wish I could do something like that. But I also hate how I look without a beard. And so I just kind of refuse, which is all kinds of messed up. I need to get to a hairdresser. Yeah, so I don't want to give up my beard.
Yeah.
And then I started watching Dragula.
Oh,
and
really?
that was, so Drag Race was inspiring to just like get into the world. But then Dragula was what really gave me the thought that, like, oh, I could do this. Like, drag is not just looking exactly like a woman. It's much more than that.
I remember finding Dragula and being so excited because, like, it never occurred to me that I could do drag in a way that was different than being fishy and being able to do kicks and splits and stuff. Like, I love the idea of gagging people and like shock value and stuff like that. So Dragula was just brilliant for that.
Yeah, that's one thing. I'm not a dancer at all. And
I can move my body compellingly, but I don't consider myself a dancer either.
I don't even know that I can move my body compellingly.
When was your first time out in drag in public?
This past Halloween, so Halloween of 2019, I did Trixie, and we hit the gay bars.
Here in Memphis?
Yeah.
Oh, come through.
Well, we did Pumping Station. But yeah, like I watched every tutorial that I could find of her doing her makeup, and it took me about 6 hours, I think. And that was my first time doing makeup or anything.
Yeah. My first time in public was also Halloween. I don't consider it my drag debut just because it was not good at all. Like, it was so bad.
Yeah, I feel the same way because I wasn't really debuting as myself.
No, I was just doing a character. I did the Sanderson sisters with a couple of my friends in 2015, actually. Oh my god, the makeup looks so good.
That was her first ever time doing makeup.
Oh, I can't show a photo. Mine's not nearly that good.
I mean, looking back now, I'm like, girl, you could have done a lot better.
Oh, I don't know. For a first time? That's impressive.
I still don't know what I'm doing, but I at least have gotten to the point where if I see someone's makeup, I'm like, oh, they did this and that.
Yeah, you can kind of figure out the process.
Yeah. Also, I made me a cocktail. Cheers.
I'm having a White Claw later.
I love a White Claw.
I have made them my like drag drink.
Yeah, because they're like refreshing. They're not heavy.
Yeah, and like drag is already so like exhausting. I'm not trying to get so wasted when I do drag that I can't, keep
I need
myself
to be
up.
just drunk enough to have a personality.
Exactly. Bring her out a little bit.
I also am like afraid of getting too drunk and then having to pee all the time.
Because once you got the stuff on, you're in there, and you're not peeing until you're done doing drag.
So are you tucking these days?
I did that one time. It was for the Naked Runway at War of the Roses, where I shook my whole body and wore a thong. I decided that moment right then, I don't mind being a fat puss queen because I'm not doing that again.
My thing is, I'm not fooling anybody with this beard, so why even bother?
That's a good point.
Who is your favorite Drag Race queen?
So my all-time favorite is Trixie. I just think she is I love her over-the-top clownery type drag. I'm a huge country music fan, so like her music is also really good to me.
It's so good.
It's so good. She's such a good songwriter. My other two that like come in and out of being my favorite are Alyssa Edwards and Alaska.
Trixie and Katya, those are my two favorites. And then Willem and Bendela Creme, I just adore.
Oh, Bendela.
And adore.
I watched season 6 the first time. Bendela and Adore were just mesmerizing. I just love, my thing in drag is I love personality. Like, I don't care how pretty you are. I need a personality.
Are you watching Dragula? Or have you watched Dragula?
I've watched all 3 seasons.
Who's your favorite out of those?
Oh, that's so difficult. I'll give you top 3. I love Bitch Pudding. She'd probably be my number 1 if I had to pick one. Landon Cider, absolutely precious in every conceivable way. And then Eva Destruction. She's the only queen from the show that I followed prior to the show. So I've always really had a spot for her. I thought she was going to go farther last season, honestly.
I agree. I love Eva, and I love Victoria Elizabeth Black.
Oh, yes. That bitch is so talented.
Oh, my gosh. This looks so much darker on screen than it does in my mirror.
I have no clue what color I'm doing with my eyes tonight. We're about to figure it out.
I'm just thinking something subtle and natural.
You're on the right track.
What was your first experience in the club like?
So my very first club experience was actually in Mobile, Alabama.
Like in drag or just personally?
Oh, in drag. I don't remember my very first just club experience. I remember it was in Jackson, Mississippi at a club called Bottoms Up.
Is that where Dusty Ray Bottoms was last year, I think?
Yeah, they've renamed the club to Wanderlust now.
That's what it is. I like her a lot.
I also do. I met her when I went to New York, actually.
Really?
Yes. I went to New York January 2019 for my birthday, and um, me and my friend found out that Monique Hart was going to be at a club. So we pack up, get ready to go, and once we get there, find out that Dusty Ray Bottoms is there as well. I personally like her so much because of her stories about conversion therapy.
Yeah.
That was something very similar to what I went through when I first came out. So I was obsessed with her. I think that's my favorite part of this whole process of drag makeup and being in quarantine specifically is being able to try different looks without feeling like somebody's gonna read me for it.
Yeah, and then I didn't expect to, whenever we got on here, to feel so, I guess, open for criticism or exposed, because like I'm breaking down what I'm doing and people are going to watch this, hopefully. Um,
Yeah.
and so I feel like I'm opening myself up for criticism, which is really scary for me.
Oh, I hear you. Um, I read somewhere one time, don't accept criticism from people you wouldn't accept advice from. And I've kind of tried to live my life based on that. So like, for instance, if Bella Duvall was the one that was like, girl, you could do this, this, or this about your makeup, I'd be like, oh honey, absolutely, because I respect your opinion and would respect to hear what you have to say to me, as opposed to just some random internet person who doesn't do drag makeup.
The first time I ever saw Bella, I was just like, oh my God, like you are drag perfection personified.
Yeah. Her, Holly, Fantasia, Bordeaux, like so many queens here in Memphis are just, God, flawless.
Yes, and it's intimidating.
It is. Especially when like they're not competing against you, but they're in the same building as you, and you're like, I'm supposed to be trying to win something tonight, and I look like this, and you just came here casually, and you look like that.
Yeah, I remember whenever Bella got there, this was not whenever I was competing, but it was like before Corona, on one of the drag race nights, on War of the Rose nights. She shows up and she's got her outfit in a little bag and she walks in that dressing room and like 20 minutes later, boom.
Yeah, yeah, like it ain't nothing. Like she does it in her fucking sleep.
How do you feel about War of the Roses?
I love it. I'm a naturally competitive person, so it actually helps me a lot that my first set of drag shows has been like themed with competition into it, because like I like the idea of them kind of telling us, okay, here's what we expect, now give it the Tiffany flair. And so far it hasn't bitten me in the ass fully yet, so I've really enjoyed the whole process. It kind of threw me because like we were doing it once a week and it was so like fun and everything, and then it kind of had to die down because of quarantine and everything, so kind of threw me off, but I'm excited to start back. Now, I remember the very first night we did it, showed up having only done one show, been out in public and drag maybe 3 times, and 2 of those times were to a friend's house, so I don't really count it. And I walk in and I see Christine Decay and Miami Rose and Venus Noir and Wednesday Moss. And I was just like, these are legit ass drag queens. I was expecting it to be like a beginner competition.
Well, and yeah, and then you've got like Patio Furniture, who has her own established show.
Oh my God, I fucking love her. She's given me so much makeup. We were having a conversation in our group chat one day about makeup and stuff, and I was like, I kind of use what I got. I do what I can, yada yada. And she was like, I have some makeup that I don't use if you'd like me to give it to you. And she gave me like 4 different eyeshadow palettes. She gave me this huge thing of loose face powder. And she gave me my Krylon stick that I use.
Nice.
There's a store here in Memphis that sells it.
Really?
Yeah, it's the only kind of foundation I've found that really works for me. So tell me about your first, was it a competition the first night you performed? How did that go? Because I was there, but I was extremely drunk. So I remember you performing, but I don't remember the criteria.
Yeah, it was, you get down to 2 and then they lip sync.
And it was you and Wednesday, right?
Yeah. God, and then looking at Wednesday, I was like, oh, there's no way. You know, like, this is her show.
And it was Toxic?
Yes. I just happened to get the opportunity to go do that amateur night at Atomic Rose. And did it. I was very surprised at the outcome.
Oh, I was obsessed with you when I saw you because, like I said, being a bearded queen has never been something that I felt like I could do. And I saw you and I was like, that bitch looks sickening. Because, like, queens pull off a good face of makeup with a beard. That's power.
I thought for sure I was going to look like an idiot next to Wednesday, who is just, like, so cute and pretty. And then here I am with my big beard self. My favorite number of yours so far has been where you had that glass and you like threw it up and it went everywhere.
Oh, that's been my least favorite of my own personally. That was week 2 and I thought I was more prepared than I was. And I was not. So I remember going home after that and like I spent the next 3 days working on my mix for week 3 because I kept getting red about not having like enough of a song basically. Because that was the week I did the Fergie thing.
Are you doing your own mixes?
I am. That's something I started with this competition just because I'm trying to keep up with bitches and it is extremely difficult. Not for the lighthearted at all. I keep finding myself being too much of a perfectionist for it. So like, I'll have to remind myself that like it doesn't have to be completely perfect. Like, people could still like it. Just go with it. Go with it. Go with it.
Well, if it's wrong, you're the only person that knows.
Exactly. I'm one of those people. I don't like to paint pretty. I like to paint shocking.
So I want to be more like that. But something about every time I start doing my makeup, I'm like, nope, it needs to be this certain way. And there's part of me that feels like a lot of bearded drag queens go campy.
And you want to show that it can also be beautiful.
Right.
I get that. So something I've been trying to master is I do a glitter brow.
Yeah.
Rather than just painting my brow because I don't like the way my brow looks just being painted. So I've been mulling over with that concept. And so far I love.
Are you doing that today?
I am. I figure since I'm doing a Kesha inspired look, I might as well beat myself in the face with glitter.
I haven't done a whole lot with glitter yet.
I just randomly did it on my eyebrow one time because I hated the way the brown looked. And ever since then, I was like, wait a minute. This could be it. And it hasn't failed me yet. Because I think it looks kind of cool just being on top of the eye like that.
Oh, I see it now. I like that.
Yeah. Thank you. If somebody had to make you lip sync for your life, like literally for your life, you had to know every word, what song would you pick? So I have an artist, like I would do Britney if I had to, but if I had to pick a single song, it would actually be Christina Aguilera's Fighter.
I don't know that one. Oh, Fighter. I thought you said Spider.
Oh.
I think I would do Praying by Kesha.
Oh,
Also, I really want to do a song about churches. The only thing is they're just not really like,
draggy.
yeah.
I get that.
I'm also kind of getting into that mindset of I kind of want to do it anyway.
Oh yeah, because I mean, realistically, drag is what we do. So, however you make it work, just as long as you believe in it, I think it'll translate.
All right, we're gonna try out this Lady Gaga lip eyeliner.
Oh my God, I'm ready to see.
Well, it doesn't automatically make me better at putting it on, which is sad.
Too real.
It definitely goes on a lot easier than what I've been using, though.
Oh, I like the way it looks, though. It's very dark.
I cannot do bottom lashes
Why is that?
because I feel like I'm looking out of a butthole.
But that's real.
So I've just been like, kind of like what you did, and been painting little wisps on the bottom of my eye.
Yeah.
I'm able to cheat a little bit with my eyes because I don't like my real lid just disappears completely whenever I have my eyes open. So I can just like coat it in black, and then whenever I open my eyes, it's like a perfect line.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Are there any makeup trends that you see that you can't stand?
I'm not a fan. I think it might be more of a classic drag style than anything, but I'm not a huge fan of like when the lip liner is significantly darker than the rest of the lip. Like I like them to be of the same like color family. I think that's more on me than it is for other people. Like if somebody else does it, it doesn't bother me. I just couldn't do it.
I think I don't like the super bright pigmented nose,
Yeah,
like
I
with
get that.
a dot on it.
Yep.
I don't understand what that's supposed to be. Is it like you have a really bright light on you? I don't know.
Yes, so that's not my gig either.
Well, like Blue Hydrangea does it a lot.
Yeah. And like it doesn't look necessarily bad on her, but it doesn't look good either.
Right. Like I've started putting a little bit of blush on my nose, and I like that.
I put a little bit of like color highlighter, but it's not enough to like stand out. I just want like specifically the tip of my nose to be like just I want the light to catch just that one little spot.
I totally forgot to mention it earlier. I loved Rock'em Sakura.
I was so upset when she went home.
Me
Like
too.
it genuinely hurt me because
Like, can we just bring her back and get rid of Sherry?
I've been watching a lot of Worst Cooks in America, Chopped, a lot of cooking stuff because I feel like I have a lot more time to cook.
I love MasterChef.
Oh, I love MasterChef. I haven't watched it in forever, but I love that show as well.
I wonder when it's going to come back. They usually have an episode or a season of MasterChef Junior, which I love more than the adults.
Oh yeah. I get so nervous watching kids compete.
Yep. Well, and I get invested because their little hearts get broken.
Exactly. And that breaks mine.
Right. But whenever grown-ups cry, I'm like, shut up.
I'm like, buck up, Buttercup.
Right.
Creme brulee is messed up.
Maybe learn how to cook before you go in a cooking competition.
Exactly, dipshit.
That's the thing that Jackie said about Snatch Game. Is like, you know you're going to do Snatch Game. Why are you not more prepared?
Absolutely. And that, honestly, I got kind of annoyed with Widow on that because I was like, you're acting so bitter like they're coming for you, but you weren't even one of the ones in the bottom. Like they weren't coming for you that week.
Right.
In either way, Jackie's 100% right. You know, without a shadow of a doubt, that there's going to be a Snatch Game. That if I were auditioning for Drag Race, that would be the first thing that I would have down is my Snatch Game character.
there anybody who you think you would do?
As long as you don't make me do the voice right now because I hate being on the spot, I'll tell you. I would choose Renee Taylor from The Nanny. She is Fran's mom on the show.
Okay. Are you going to do the voice for us? I would love to get on Dragula, but she can't be doing those exterminations.
Oh, see, it depends on what the extermination is, because the one where they had to pierce their own skin, I'm not doing it.
Nope. I'm not doing that. I'm not eating anything gross. I can't do pain.
Like I said, I'm a competitive person, so like I could get past a lot of it. I just don't do well with blood.
I'm so surprised at how this turned out. I like it.
It's sickening. I'm about to do contour and then lips and lashes.
I love that green you did.
Thanks.
Okay, well I give up on the eyes. Eyes are what they are. Ugh, lips are so hard.
Honestly. But whenever I do get them right, I feel like I've conquered the world.
At what point do you feel the most like Tiffany?
I don't feel Tiffany until I get lashes on, and that's the last thing I do. It feels like DJ up until the point where the top lashes go on and the bitch looks sickening.
I think it's the blush. I leave that for the very end.
I've really appreciated the Memphis drag scene for everything they've been doing during the quarantine.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah, the girls are not letting up. Once we get the lashes on, then it is a little bit of highlighter. I feel like I get more country once I get in drag too.
Yeah, I did hear your highlighter.
Highlighter.
I think it's blush time. And I've got my Trixie blush palette.
Honey, what colors?
Well, it's the only one she's got out right now. But they are beautiful.
Oh my God. Which one do you like the most?
Well, I mix all of them.
Oh, come through. He's a chemist.
And it's kind of her suggestion. Like she starts out doing the darker back here.
Yeah.
And then she mixes in the lighter note and does.
Right there.
And then there's even like a highlighter. And it's just, I love it. I call this look out of practice realness.
For my blush, I like to go with, I do like a highlighter underneath. It's like a purple color. Yeah. And then like the hot pink, like right at the cheekbone.
I love it. I also love like how thin of a cheek you've given yourself.
Thank you.
Like I don't want to say alien, but it's like, you know, it gives you a really unique shape.
Absolutely. The only offense that I will take is if you say I look like a human woman.
I'm out of alcohol.
I go out of my way to make sure there's nothing natural about me.
All right, another martini moment.
Me too. I call it a Mountain Dew martini. It's just Mountain Dew.
A mountain martini.
Yeah, it's an illusion.
I still don't know what we're gonna call this show.
Let's see.
Martini moments with Lucifer.
That could be really cute. And then your like running thing could be that you always have a martini while you're getting ready and you ask people questions. I'm here for it. I think that would be really cute, a martini moment.
So, martini moments. This is the dry martini run.
See, you think you're clever, don't you?
Maybe a little.
That was cute. Yeah, I think martini moment. I love an alliteration. I'm a big alliteration queen.
Oh, she looks smart.
She does. That's an educated bitch right there. Ooh,
my God. And just like that, Lucy Furr comes to life. So I think it's the wig. I think it's the wig that does it.
Whenever I do it off the shoulder, I feel like homegirl from Mama's Family.
Yes, I love that look for you. I love that wig.
Thank you.
Where did you get her? Where did she come from?
Oh, sorry, I'm feeling my oats. Central Wigs or something. It's here in Memphis. It's over on, I don't know any locations in Memphis. But it's like 20 minutes from my house, and it's in Midtown.
I love how your lips turned out.
Thank you.
Beauty mark.
Yeah, I have a mole there anyway, so I figure I might as well paint the bitch. Let her feel included.
I love how you and I are both just like, yeah.
I mean, it's like once you get in drag, it's very like, ooh. Like you just pull out your little compact and you're like, damn, who's she though? If I was into girls.
Let's see how the glasses do with this. And just like that, she's a nerd. What song would you do with this look?
Oh, let's see. I feel like I'm getting like 80,000 songs in my head right now. I want to do Dressing Up by Katy Perry, if I could do one. Yeah, it's very flirty.
Yeah.
That's what I feel in this. I feel very like, oh, you want to come up and do me sometime.
I got this gem.
I love that. Is that just...
It needs to be a necklace.
Absolutely.
Or I need to fashion it somehow to be like...
Uh-huh. What did it, when you first put it up, I thought it was like a big septum piercing or something. It might be a bit distracting.
A little bit, yeah.
Honey.
A moment.
Yes, or kind of like what Sharon did with the little thing from, what's the game? Ouija board, the little Ouija board piece.
I really want to do some Paramore, and I want to do Kitty. Do you know Kitty?
Kitty? How do you spell it?
Like cat. They're a punk group from the 90s.
It's funny that you mentioned like a 90s female rock group, because I've been trying to listen to more 90s like alternative music, I guess. And I listened to Four Non Blondes.
I love them.
Pastor Moore. I can't remember the album title, but the only album they have. And then I listened to Fiona Apple's Title yesterday, and I really enjoyed that. So I'm going to listen to Kitty tomorrow.
Oh, and Garbage is another good one.
Oh, I love their song When I Grow Up. Makes me think of Big Daddy, but I love it.
Big Daddy.
Yeah, the movie.
Oh.
Sorry.
It was fun. I can't wait to do it again.
Agreed. But honey, this was so much fun. I'm so glad you asked me to do it.
Thank you for doing it.
Thank you for having me. Imagine if I was in the club right now, I'd just be like, oh, I should have turned off that fucking light ages ago. It was casting unnecessary shadows. Do I start or do you?
Oh, sorry. I'm looking at myself.
Same, girl.
Oh, I'm out of Martini, so we can't do it. Well, no,
the other one was plenty.
This has been a Martini moment with Lucy Furr and Tiffany Minxx. Tiffany, is there anything you'd like to promote?
I promote socialism.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's been working out really well so far.
Right? No, but really, honestly, the girls can just find me on Instagram and follow me. I post lackluster selfies and half-ass videos all the time. Tiffany Minxx, 2 X's.
Okay. Awesome. And I'm at Lucy Furr Drag on Instagram, and that's Furr with 2 R's. How did we get through this whole thing without talking about politics?